Wendy Wasserstein's Pulitzer Prize-winning play The Heidi Chronicles, about an art historian and her friends, is heading back to Broadway. We're here at the show's Midtown rehearsal space to get the scoop from the stars, including Mad Men's Elisabeth Moss, Bryce Pinkham, and Jason Biggs. The Heidi Chronicles, this is exciting. What's the Heidi Chronicles about?
The Heidi Chronicles is a chronicle of Heidi, the main character, who is sort of Wendy Wasserstein representing herself in her play, and it's an investigation of many of the questions Wendy and women of her generation were interested in the time she was writing.
It's a very strong woman-centric story, and sort of focuses on her coming of age at a time when women's issues sort of came to the forefront, and focuses on her relationships with men and women over the course of a 20-plus year span.
I'm very interested in playing her as a modern woman, which is something that I sort of always tried to do with Peggy on Mad Men. I know that the time period reflects, is an influence upon who she is, but at the same time, I think that she is just like us and has the same issues and the same problems and the same questions. And so for me, I'm interested in finding out who she is in any decade.
I think she's, somebody who represents the women and that generation that started asking the big questions that I don't think women felt they were allowed to ask. Things like, do I have to have a husband? Do I have to have a baby? Do I have to have a house and make tuna fish sandwiches for everybody? Or can I have a job that I love, be passionate about that, and then maybe get my own house and do my own thing?
This piece about women and these relationships between career and family and friendship, we're still talking about and figuring it out. I am, anyway.
That's one of the questions in the play for me is, how do we identify ourselves? And Heidi, is she an art historian? Is she a feminist? Is she a mother? And I think Wendy would say, well, she's a human being.
Okay, Elisabeth Moss, that's pretty cool. What's she like to work with?
So far a little bitchy, but I think once she settles down, maybe she's nervous. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, she's okay. She's okay. Yeah, only one of my favorite actresses of all time. Elisabeth and Jason basically occupy two of my favorite TV shows that I've watched. Elisabeth for years, and Jason on his new show.
No, Elisabeth is great, and she's terrific, first of all. She's an amazing actress. She's a complete doll, that sounds so condescending. She's a little doll, I'll tell you. She's a good gal. She's just so sweet and nice, and but also I think this was kind of one of these roles that she was just born to play,
This show is from 1988. Do you feel like it's still kind of relevant to people and that, it has a spot on Broadway right now?
Yeah, I feel like you could change a couple of the names and the events and it could easily be this year or last year. It could easily be, the 90s through 2015 as opposed to 65 through 89.
I think it's funny, but it's also really poignant at times. There's some real sort of there's some real sweetness to the play, almost sadness in a way.
I think women of generations younger than myself need to see this play. I don't think they're very aware of how lucky they are, and I think that it's a good reminder for all of us to sort of thank the women that came before we did, and then also find a way to move forward.